Thank you, sir. Ms. Shirley, welcome. Thanks for being with us today, and appreciate your work. Under current ESA framework, many of us have a lot of frustration with the frivolous ESA lawsuits that are brought to block pretty much any project from happening. I base a lot of that on forestry and how many millions of acres have to go up in smoke every year, and the impairment of getting onto the lands to do things, so-called roadless areas or even existing roads that have to go through a whole bunch of NEPA process in order to have them repaired and upgraded, et cetera. So when we're talking about, in your scope of work, how much of these are frivolous lawsuits that have been just a deterrent to doing it for the service's ability to, in this case, delist species that we would see as probably recovered?
Thank you, Representative, for that question. As mentioned, I agree with you that we do have the citizen suit provision in ESA that does lead to a lot of litigation work. And yes, there has definitely been circumstances and continues to be that litigation work can stymie the efforts of us trying to develop plans and work on recovery efforts. And so we would welcome any feedback that the committee would have for us there.
All right. We need some help with some of the things that are going on, like in my own district and other parts of western states. The litigation that is surrounding the gray wolf population. Right now, they've been ongoing, introducing more gray wolves into Northern California and some of our surrounding areas, and it really needs to be delisted. There's tens of thousands of these wolves in North America, and for some reason, they seem to believe it has to be in every county in North America, otherwise it's going to be seen as endangered in that part of the area. Can you make any logic out of that with how can something be plentiful in one part of the country and indeed have the population to carry on into perpetuity, but seen as endangered just because of the geography? And they also have plans of introducing about 1,000 grizzly bears into California if they can get that past muster. What do you think of that?
Thank you. Wow, those are questions that I'm somewhat familiar with, coming from a state agency in the West, from the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, and having gray wolf always be something that we've been dealing with. And what you bring up there with the concerns of how ESA is being used, we need to, the service wants to see gray wolves delisted, and we're still appealing that 2022 decision and are working in that direction. We want the science to govern that delisting and have been working towards that, and all the work that goes behind the scenes in both grizzly bears and wolves is extensive, and state management of those species really needs to occur at a level for the species protection moving forward. That's the goals of ESA, is to protect those species and be able to turn over management to states to be able to run with recovery plans.
Certainly, then it's weaponized into something to stop a lot of other things. Do you see the service planning to actually recommend delisting?
On wolves, we're going to follow the science there, and yes, we're recommending delisting and currently supporting the appeal process from the courts.
Is there a solid recovery number, some sort of benchmark for the population, and does it have to be applied towards every county in the U.S., or can it be seen cumulatively in North America?
Yeah, as far as the recovery goals of the plan, there's always a population number attributed to that. What those are, would need to get back to you on, but we, again, with wolves in particular, it's one of the ones that the service has identified should be delisted, and we're working towards that.
Okay, so just pulling a number out of there, if you reach a particular number, a target, say 20,000 wolves in North America, then maybe we would be there.
Yeah, the additional information I would provide there is under ESA, besides just population goal, you're always looking at critical habitat trends, all the other factors that would go into making sure that that species is fully recovered and we're following the science.
Well, it's certainly recovering and devouring just about everything in the northeast part of my district as far as wildlife as well as the cattle population. So much needs to be done on rectifying this and identifying that it is indeed needs to be delisted and will be just fine in North America. I yield back. Thank you,
Gentleman's
Mr. Chairman.
time's expired. Mr. Huffman.